Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Snark Bait. I'm Christy.
I'm Jordan.
We have Jordan, our producer, on DET today. Sophie is taking a vacation. She will be back on Thursday, but I am so excited to talk to you guys about so many topics on our docket. We're talking about Selena Gomez's wedding, Becca Bloom's wedding, Fibula, aka Connor Wood, and Sally and their relationship, the set active controversy with their 2% proceeds to breast cancer awareness, the Kardashians, and of course, our DEOs and LEOs of the week. Are you ready, Jordan?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Hey, everybody. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, Christy. I'm like
You,
so excited.
I know you guys may notice that this episode of Dark Energy Tuesday is a little bit different. We have JOP, Jordan, our producer, on the mic today, and there's no one I'd rather be with. Well, of course, Sophie, but Sophie, unfortunately, is out for the week, so Jordan is stepping in for her. And you guys, Jordan is just as online as all of us, so I have no doubt that she will be a shoe-in for this role. And this is your second Dark Energy Tuesday
This is,
ever
yes,
co-hosting, right?
this is my second. I'm feeling a little bit more like prepared somewhat. I mean, I'm gonna let you take the lead with the outline, but I don't know how you guys are like so on the fly with everything. It's honestly so impressive because I cannot think that fast. I cannot think, react.
Thank you so much for saying all that. And I think a lot of people don't realize that Jordan, our producer, is, of course, on with us on every recording, but she also runs like the entire operations of the company. So she's very like knee deep in what we talk about. She provides us like feedback on what we shouldn't discuss. So she's definitely like so well suited to be co-hosting this
Oh,
episode with me. And
thank
before
you.
we get started, I really want to quickly talk about a corrections corner about a temporary restraining order. We were talking about that, I think, a couple of episodes ago, but a quick correction. Temporary restraining orders are actually very easy to get. It's really just a written statement from the person seeking protection, but they're not necessarily like reliable proof. Like they're intended to provide quick, short-term protection in situations where people feel that they're in immediate danger of harm or harassment,
Hmm.
and the judge will typically issue it more readily than permanent restraining orders. But I just wanted to call that out because we had a lot of comments of folks saying that, temporary restraining orders, there's not like a high bar to obtain one. So just wanted to quickly talk about that. But before we dive in, Jordan, is there anything you want to tell the baby snarks? Like, I don't know, like what are some insider knowledge, some tidbits it's not about snarkbait being on the inside of the business that you would like to tell people that people may not be aware of? Not to put you on the spot,
Oh
but
my God. I feel like Sophie and Christy are exactly the same people they are like online that and like on the podcast that they are in like real life, but more fun. Like it's just like I don't even know how to describe it. Like when we were on our retreat, it was just like snarkbait IRL, but like on another level, taken to like another level that was just constantly like laughing and like fucking around with each other and relaxing. And it felt like we had all been friends. It felt like I was with my camp friends, which like if you went to camp, you kind of know, but like your camp friends, it's like you could not see them for 2 years, 2 months, and then you're together and it feels like no time has passed. And like you've just like known them forever. And that's how I felt like with you guys. But behind the scenes, I mean, everyone is like funnier than they are than like on the recording. Like Christy is basically like my current events daily news newspaper. Like the way that you just like rattle bits and pieces of news off. I'm like, you're the New York Post. Like you know everything that's going on. And I like think I'm online, but then I'm like you are on like every single corner of the internet. You know everything that's happening at all times, and it's so impressive. I literally can't keep up. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like I
and
was
Sophie's funny too because I feel like I'm perpetually online and Sophie is really funny like on Twitter and she'll post random things in our group chat and I'm like, damn, that's really funny. Like Sophie's super funny and I'm just like, have you guys heard this? Have you guys heard this? Have you guys heard this?
No, you are funny. Like the amount of you like will FaceTime me and you'll be like, Jordan, what are you saying? What are you doing? And like you won't even say hello. You'll just like I'll just like answer and you'll be like, Jordan, what is going on with X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z?
I'm like, Jordan, no, I was like, you can't say that. Like, no, 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 we can't. I was like, I love you. We can't say that. Like,
Yeah.
didn't realize it was a problem. No, me and Jordan have the best working relationship and it's so fun. And again, I'm really excited for you to be on this episode. So, shall we dive in?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, Selena Gomez got married September 27th. And I, of course, was so obsessed with all of the IG photos. First of
Gorgeous.
all, what did you think about her dress?
Well, which dress? Because she had like literally I saw that she was taking photos in a dress that had like no lace, but it was kind of like the halter, her shoulders were exposed, and then it almost looked like she was in the same dress but with lace. I thought that she looked stunning. Like no notes. She looked beautiful. The old Hollywood glam and the hair was stunning. Like everything. I think that this was like everything that she's ever wanted. She's one of those people, similar to Taylor Swift, where like we've kind of seen her been in and out of relationships, not great relationships, short relationships, and now she's found her person and she just looks so happy and it looks like everything like couldn't have gone any better for her, at least for her wedding day.
I completely agree. To your point, she had Ralph Lauren design wedding dresses, and he doesn't do wedding dresses all the time. I think the last person that he did a wedding dress for, can you Google this while I'm talking? I think it
Yeah.
might have been Lily Collins. I could be incorrectly saying that, but both of those gowns were Ralph Lauren. And then she had a reception dress that was more flirty, fun, short, also exposed her shoulders, but it gave that old Hollywood glam look. Also, she released a Rare Beauty like makeup kit that was aligned with
Oh,
the makeup for her wedding. And see, that's just a good
that's so
marketing opportunity.
smart.
So smart because people look at her glam that night and say, "Oh my God, she looks stunning. I want that old Hollywood retro glam," and they can attain it by buying this like wedding kit.
Genius.
Genius.
Back to your question. So Ralph Lauren has designed for Priyanka. He did, yeah,
Priyanka
Priyanka
Chopra, yes.
Chopra, Lily Collins, Naomi Biden's wedding dress. One just looks so glamorous, elegant, timeless, chic. Like
Timeless.
it's nothing about trends. It's just he wants to make everyone look timeless. And I think that based on this article that I'm looking at for these other examples, that's what everyone looks like, including Selena Gomez. I
He
mean,
nailed it.
yeah, he nailed it.
And on her veil, he even there was like a S and B on the veil with a date
Oh,
of the
really?
wedding. Yeah, so just like these little touches like that. And I like that Selena Gomez, albeit it was two different dresses, but like you said, it looked almost the same, but with lace on top of it. And I was
Mhm.
listening to this TikTok of a girl. Her name is, I think it's Gown Eyed Girl on TikTok, and she was explaining that to the person who doesn't understand like dresses or wedding dresses. People may look at those dresses and be like, is that the same dress but with lace on it? She said,
Yes.
no, they're actually different dresses, but like one has the lace and then one does not. But it's great because it offers like a variety of types of photos. But I bet you Selena was like, this type of dress looks really good on my body. It's very flattering. I want to show my shoulders. Like I want
Mhm.
to like have my arms be like super flattering in it. Like she looked incredible. And I was listening to a clip of Tanya Rad and Becca Tilley's Scrubbing In podcast. And Tanya Rad is a co-host on the Kiss FM show with Ryan Seacrest. I'm not sure if she still is, but she's friends with a lot of that group. She like co-authored a book with Raquel Leviss, who's Selena Gomez's right-hand woman, that blonde girl that was in her documentary. And Tanya Rad and her co-wrote this book and they're friends. So Tanya Rad is in that space and she was explaining on Scrubbing In that she knew ahead of going into the wedding that Taylor was going to be in attendance. And she said that it was kind of like, when you're at a wedding like Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's, that you're going to see the A-list of A-list celebrities, but everyone
Yes.
was kind of on pins and needles to see Taylor. And she said that everyone was giving Taylor the space. They weren't crowding her, obviously, because this isn't about Taylor. But I'd imagine any wedding that Taylor goes to, she's going to be the center of attention naturally. But she said people were
Yeah.
keeping their distance, and she approached Taylor Swift and was introduced by a mutual friend of theirs and said, Tanya, this is Taylor. Taylor, this is Tanya. And Taylor Swift was very sweet, very warm. And Tanya Rad told Taylor at Selena's wedding, I walked down the aisle to one of your songs, and Taylor was really curious as to which song it was. And I was thinking, how many times has Taylor Swift been told that about
I'm
walking
sure
down the aisle?
800 million times from like Tanya Rad to like Joe Schmo on the street.
Yeah, and I was
Like,
thinking if I met Taylor Swift, well, obviously I'm not married, but I think that I would
doesn't even
try to like,
matter.
yeah, like I would try to get a little bit more of a unique story if I'm going to talk to Taylor Swift, like which song I really loved of hers that
Mhm.
really touched me. But yeah, I'm really happy for my girl Selena. Anything else you want to add on the wedding?
Not really. I mean, I would just love to see like guest photos. Like I want to see photos of like like more so the ceremony. I think Sophie kind of talked about this, like what traditions they did because he's Jewish and I'm just curious how like they blended the two faiths in the ceremony and at the wedding. I just think I love that she's now like Selena Gomez live-in. Like I just love that.
I know. I'm curious if she will be, well, no, actually, no, she's very religious. She's very Christian, so I don't imagine she'd be converting, but I'm sure they
Yeah.
will kind of marry both of their religions when
Yeah.
if and when they start a family.
Yeah.
What was the one other thing I was going to say? Yes, the reception photos, the ceremony photos. I want to see more
I want
BTS
to
as the
see that.
guests.
Yes. And
Yeah.
like just her like letting loose and like her party dress, like the other dress that she had changed into, just like how she's socializing with everyone. I think that that like kind of inside look would just be in general like really fascinating. But just to see like how Taylor was interact like to see what celebrities wore, I don't know. Like all that is so secretive and mysterious that like I need to see it.
I know. I would love to be a fly on that wall of a celebrity wedding because all I will be doing is just observing everyone.
I wouldn't be I would like find one seat, sit there, like stay there and just people watch. Like I would
Yeah,
be mute. You would never
me,
see me again. I would
me
just
too.
literally be parked in this one seat, like in a central location, watching. Like
We'd have like a GoPro attached to like a necklace of just videoing and
literally
just
I'd
sitting
have
there.
something like in front, on the sides,
Yeah,
behind.
yeah.
Like
Like in your headpiece, there's a camera or something. That would be us.
hitting cameras in our dresses like we're
Yeah,
fucking spies or like undercover. Like
yeah. It's a live Twitch stream to the Snark Bait like Patreon.
no one's inviting us anywhere ever again.
Patreon.com/snarkbaitpod, where we release episodes every Wednesday and you guys get ad-free episodes from the main feed as there as well. But I want to move on to speaking of weddings.
Yes.
Becca Bloom, she is a Bay Area influencer. She is a very, very wealthy, like definition of crazy rich Asian, and she's really taken over the FYP. Everyone has
Yeah.
been talking about her over the last like 6 months, 7, 8 months, over the last year, really, and they've been qualifying her as like the girl that rich is right. And over the last, I would say 2 months, the curtain has kind of like, I don't know, everyone has kind of turned on Becca Bloom, it appears. And I feel like there's always that one point, whether it be a celebrity or an influencer, where you are universally beloved, and then all of a sudden you have one moment that has everyone coming and criticizing you and ridiculing you. And I feel like Becca
Classic.
Bloom is in her moment now, and she recently had a lot more attention because she got married in Italy, not so like I don't know, a month ago, and people were shading her, saying, "Oh my God, the weather sucks," and I think it was Lake Como. And LOL, Becca Bloom's wedding is going to be ruined because of the weather. And then people started paying more attention to her page, really, during her wedding and saying, God, like you have this woman who lives in Atherton, which is one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest zip code in California. It's in the Bay
Oh,
Area, close to Palo Alto. It's where all the Silicon Valley, like tech investors live. It's like all the CEOs in San Francisco and the Bay live in Atherton. And she apparently comes from a family that did really well in China and came and basically settled in the US, I don't know, within the last like 15 years. And she definitely comes from a billionaire family, private jets, mansions. But she's been posting stuff on her page about how she gets ready in the morning. And she posted something about feeding her dog caviar. And people were saying, this is just so incredibly tone deaf. Not only do you have a private chef for yourself and your family, but your dog also has a private chef. You're feeding your dog caviar. I just feel as if people are getting annoyed by this exorbitant wealth that people are pushing down our screens on TikTok. And especially in this economy, people just don't like to see it. We all know, we are all aware that this type of wealth does in fact exist, whether it be in the elites of Hollywood or old
Yeah.
money on the East Coast or Silicon Valley, like new money. But people are just infuriated by this. And she was in Paris for Paris Fashion Week and she was being interviewed. And I was looking at the comments and people were being so mean. They were like, ugh, Becca Bloom doesn't look very good because
The
her makeup,
filter is dropped, is
the
what.
filter was definitely dropped. Was coming from like a Sony or like a Canon camera, very unfiltered. I will say, as an Asian woman, she needs to use an Asian makeup artist because I felt like the tones of her foundation looked very cool and very almost gray. But in any case, have you heard of Becca Bloom before? What are your initial thoughts? And are you sick of her rich, quote unquote, rich and right?
So I had literally never heard of this woman ever before until I saw photos being posted about her wedding. Like you said, in Italy, it looked gorgeous. But I do remember seeing that there was like, I don't even know if this is controversy, but there was a lot of conversation about people saying like, was this wedding sponsored by Lancome?
Lancome, yes.
And was the wedding, did all the photos, like the Lancome makeup for her getting ready and like her first look and all that, like being just like in her wedding, in her
Yeah.
outfit, like was that all done the day before? Like there was a lot of speculation that people were thinking things were done the day before the wedding, and that like because it was sponsored things were done a little bit differently, or like if it was sponsored. I think there's just a lot of speculation on what was going on with the sponsorship. How did she get like all of these photos of like her makeup done and everything? Like I wish I could find the Reddit post, but
I know what you're saying. You're basically saying that if Lancome were sponsoring this wedding, they would have to take all the photos the day before. So it was almost like a dress rehearsal, but really a
yes.
photo shoot before the wedding.
And she was like done up with, she was like in her full wedding gown. Her husband, her now husband, was like in his tux or in his suit, and they were
Hmm.
taking all of these extravagant photos. There was just a lot of like, something like there's something off about this. And that was literally the first time I've ever heard of her, and I have not thought about her since. But
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how she came across my, well, no, actually I do know. I have a friend when I used to live in SF. Her son was telling me about Becca Bloom. He's like, "Oh, I'm obsessed with her. I love watching her. She's super sweet." And I did like kind of, it's kind of voyeuristic almost watching these super wealthy people live their life in a manner that you literally can never understand. And it was kind of interesting to see how the other half lives. But after a
yeah.
while, when she was doing so many things, like try on a bunch of Cartier, like rings with me, and she'll just like she'll have like stacks and stacks and stacks, and it just
No.
feels a little bit too in your face. But honestly, that's kind of Asian culture. When you guys think about Crazy Rich Asians, Asian people do like there's a certain type of people in Asia that they do love like designer things. So I think it is culturally in line with a lot of certain cultures in Asia,
Mhm.
but I don't know. It just does seem a little bit tone deaf to have this being shoved on our screens. And I think, again, the curtain's been lifted and people are getting just sick of it.
Yeah, I just did a quick Google search and it said Becca Bloom's wedding's being sponsored by Lancome. Like, no one really understands, and everyone was like, it looks like every other Lake Como wedding.
It didn't, you're so right. For as much money as her family does have, one, why do you need a sponsorship to have your wedding?
Yes,
And
weird.
that's weird. Actually, that's a whole other kind of conspiracy because then it's almost as if she's an industry plant. I don't doubt that her parents are super wealthy. It's more so why all of a sudden is she being shoved down our throats?
She can afford, also, she can afford to like put on this wedding. And it's
Exactly.
really bizarre that she had a make. I mean, I love Lancome, but it's bizarre that they sponsored it. Like she's wearing
Yeah.
Oscar de la Renta gowns and Chanel Couture. Like it doesn't, there's something
It's
not adding up.
it's not mathing. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of just insinuating perhaps is she really trying to be an influencer? And so she has like the best PR team, the best marketing team, the best manager to get her these sponsorships. So it's not even really about the sponsorship with Lancome, maybe to help save money for the wedding. It's more to push her name and likeness out to get her more out, like Alex Earl.
Pulled up another post. people are talking about it being sponsored by Lancome. They're like, why did she need a sponsor? Sort of like what I just said. And someone goes, because she's not as rich as she acts. And also, rich people love getting more money. Having a paid partnership for her wedding day is so tacky. Rich
It does
people
feel
love not
tacky.
paying for things. It's
Yeah.
also, and like they're showing the photos from her wedding, and she really does look completely different in that other video they were talking about from Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah, so that's why when you guys are looking through your phone on socials and you're like, why doesn't my skin look like this? Why doesn't like
It's
my
all
body look like
fake.
this?
It's
It's
all
all
fake.
fake. From your hair to your face to your body, everything is so fake. Until I see an unfiltered Getty image of someone, I'm going to assume that you are 15 pounds heavier, that your skin is not poreless, and that
Which is not a bad thing at
absolutely not.
all. Like it's just saying you're normal, you're just like everyone else. And you even shared a photo the other day of a photo of Kylie Jenner where you could like, and you said, I love seeing her textured skin. And same,
Yes.
because that is like it everyone just wants a little bit of a relatability and like just seeing a Kardashian skin look like non-airbrush, unfiltered texture, maybe like a pimple or so. It's like, okay, they really are like this. Like they really are like us at the end of the day with something
Yes.
like this. And it makes you feel better about yourself, which is like so
Totally.
fucked up. Like we shouldn't even feel that way.
Well, yeah, to your point, we can't help but compare because that's what we're seeing on our screens. But
Yeah.
yeah, they have access to every esthetician, to every laser treatment. And that's why their skin does look better than a normal person. But at the end of the
Hmm.
day, they still get acne, hormonal acne before their period. They still have pores. And
Yeah.
even with like my setup, like my skin looks super glowy. But if you guys saw it in real life, this is all like it's good lighting, it's the makeup. You cannot
You
trust what
still
you're
have
seeing.
good skin though in real life.
Thank you. But it's like it's not you can't just think that this is what I look like if you're seeing me on the street. So much of this is lighting and makeup. So now a quick ad break to talk about Lola blankets. If you listen to this podcast, you already know that we are obsessed with Lola blankets. And trust me, they truly live up to the hype. My favorite new ritual and way to wind down after a long day of running a business that I'm passionate about is pouring myself a glass of red wine, grabbing my Lola blanket, and putting on the most troubling true crime documentary I can find. I have the size large and it's truly so soft, big, cozy, and it has this signature four-way stretch that just makes it my go-to blanket. Seriously, no other blanket compares. And the best part, they're machine washable. So if I happen to spill some red wine or Hank comes over, I don't have to worry about a thing. I cannot wait for you guys to see what the Lola hype is all about. I promise there is a reason they're all over your FYP lately. I've even turned my friends and family onto them, and they're all obsessed. Once you go Lola, you'll never go back to your other blankets, seriously. And for a limited time, our listeners are getting a huge 35% off their entire order at lolablankets.com by using code SNARK at checkout. Just head to lolablankets.com and use code SNARK for 35% off. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola blankets. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. October 10th is World Mental Health Day, and this year we're saying thank you to our therapists. Unfortunately, therapy isn't accessible to all, but that's why BetterHelp is such an amazing platform. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of times a therapist showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win can change lives. I know those moments in therapy have changed mine. This World Mental Health Day, BetterHelp wants to show our listeners how simple it can be to find the right therapist and support for you. BetterHelp makes it easy. Start with a short questionnaire to help identify your needs and preferences, and they'll match you with a therapist who's right for you. If you aren't happy with your match, you can switch to a different one who fits the bill at any time. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who've helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/snarkbait. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/snarkbait. Moving on, I wanted to talk about Fibula and Sally. Sally is Alex Earl's really good friend. She's often in
Okay.
Alex's content. Fibula, also known as Connor Wood, he has that show, Brooke and Connor Make a Podcast. He's really hit the airwaves since 2020. And I feel as if Fibula's dating life has been discussed online because he is so goofy and cute and
Hmm.
funny. And women love him, I feel like on the internet, because he's not this unattainable hot guy like a Theo James or like a Liam Hemsworth. He's kind of like a guy you went to high school with that you would be friends with, but because he's so cheeky and goofy, people really like him and have a crush on him. But he's always been very hush hush about his dating life, and he's everywhere and nowhere all at once. Like he's with
Yeah.
Alex Earl, then he's with Wes Wilson from Summer House, and he's all over like all these Reddit snark pages, but he's kind of this anomaly of like, who is Connor Wood and who is he dating? And interestingly enough, my best friend was at the Miami Open not too long ago, and she looked at Connor and she's not online like us, and she
Mhm.
was asked him, she goes, "Do I know you from somewhere? Why do you look so familiar?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I do like content on TikTok." And she was like, he was so cool, and he's like, "Do you guys mind if I sit here?" And she's like, "Sure." So they were eating, and he had this sandwich. She goes, "Divert your eyes. This is the first meal I've had all day. Please divert your eyes."
Oh
Like
my
he was just so
God.
cute and funny. And she said that when she sat back down at the match, she was like in the front row, like court. Do you say courtside for tennis? I don't know, but she
I
was
don't know.
as close as you can get in a match. And Connor was passing her, and he looked at her. He's like, "Oh, like you have the nice seats." And she said he was just really fun and cute. But anyways, he was spotted in Helly Batchelder's TikTok of them. It looked like they had just had a very late night. It looked like it was very early
Oh,
morning
yes.
hours.
Yes.
Like
I
maybe they
briefly saw
were
this.
taking some recreational, I don't know, like they just looked like they had been up for a long time.
Hmm.
And Fibula was kissing Sally's head. Did you see this?
I saw it in the sense where like I literally scrolled past the picture and I just like read the text that was like Hallie Batchelder like uploaded this photo from like 6 a.m. or like uploaded this TikTok that was from like 6 a.m. That was really it. I didn't see the rest of it because I guess it was new this weekend and I was
Yeah,
not really online this weekend.
it was 6 a.m. So everyone was like, "What the heck were you doing into the early morning hours of the night?" Like,
Hmm.
come on, we all know what that means. But number two, Fibula was looking very cozy with Sally, and I watched the video. It's clear they're like an item, and I think it's super cute. I don't know, it's kind of random because it's one of those things where Fibula, again,
Oh, I
is
see.
someone who's not, he doesn't talk about women, and I feel like he's very hush hush, but I don't know, I'm just happy for them. And Sally also released a TikTok of, I think it was to Mariah Carey's Obsessed with Me. She's like, and then I was like, why are you so obsessed with me? Because everyone is annoyed that, because everyone has a crush on Fibula, and they're like, Sally has him, we're jealous. But I don't know. I don't have a problem with Sally. Fibula seems cool and happy
I
for them.
I don't know Sally. I knew Fibula because I would follow Brooke Averick. I think she's from the
Yeah.
same town that I'm from. So like when I would before she blew up on TikTok, I would like watch her videos and it was so relatable because she's like that classic Jewish girl from like the suburbs
Oh,
of Philadelphia. So it was like super relatable and now she's massive. But I always thought that like her and Fibula were dating.
everyone thought that.
I
Remember
always
when
thought that.
wasn't her handle Lady Efron?
Yes.
Yes. So everyone kind of thought they may have been dating, but they're just, it seems like business partners and
Love
have a very
that.
good, yeah, working relationship. But yeah, I also was very confused
Yeah,
by that friendship.
I didn't understand. It's so funny because I wanted to see what Sally looked like and I found the post on Reddit that you're talking about and they're like, why are all the girls thirsting over Fibula? And someone wrote basically the same thing that you said, like he's cute, he's not super hot, at least appears to be, he's funny, which is appealing to a lot of people, and he low-key looks attainable.
Yeah, it's almost like he's a hot guy for like the every woman.
Hmm.
Which, and yeah, and if you have a good personality, I feel like laughter and humor take
Totally
you
trumps everything else.
100%. Like that takes you so much further than if you were Theo James looking but had zero personality. Like I would pick Connor Wood over Theo James if you were funny as fuck.
Yes, if you can make me laugh, it's over. Like, you got
Totally
me.
agree. Let
Yeah.
us know, you guys. Do you think Connor Wood is someone you could see yourself with? I mean, assuming that you're age appropriate and everything. I'm too old for him, but love that
How
for
old is
him.
he?
I have no idea. He's probably like in his mid 20s, I'd assume.
You're not too old for anyone, Christy. Just someone that's under 18. You're too old for them. But
Yeah.
anyone over 18 goes, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
totally. Okay, I want to talk about you're the one that brought this up actually in the Snark Bait group chat. Set Active had a recent breast cancer awareness drop in their line. It said set for a cure, Airlux and Glossy, and Set Active said on their Instagram that they were donating 2% of their proceeds of the sales to Susan G. Komen for the Cure, which is a breast cancer foundation. And people were shook by that low percentage. And
2%.
it's really bad. So
Why
the
donate?
apology,
It's like how do you even donate? Like what's the point of donating if you're only donating 2%? Is like the tax.
yeah,
That it's like nothing.
it's lower
Sorry
in
to
some
interrupt you.
states. No, it's literally lower than some tax
Hmm.
rates depending on the state that you're in. And the apology was had to come like they were getting eaten alive all over online. And Lindsay
Yeah.
Carter released a statement and she said, I want to take a minute to reflect with you guys about our breast cancer awareness drop today. We made a poor decision with the initial 2% donation, and I'm committed to making it right. Here's the honest truth. We got caught up in being cautious about sustainable business operations, and that clouded what should have been our priority meaningful giving. We were moving too fast to realize that at some point along the way, we weren't centering the cause how we should have been. The moment pre orders opened and I saw your response, I knew we had to do better. I immediately pulled an emergency meeting with my brand and finance teams. I'm proud to share that we've since increased our donation commitment to 95K and are expanding to support MetaVivora and additional organizations doing critical work. The criticism that you guys called out, that 2% as pink washing, I hear you. That feedback pushed us to realign with our values immediately. Sometimes you need that outside perspective to see where you've lost the plot. Running a sustainable business matters, but not at the expense of making real impact when you've had the opportunity. We found the balance we should have struck from the beginning. Thank you to everyone who's held us accountable, blah, blah, blah. I have to say, 2% of proceeds is just very egregious. I feel as if you're going to do a campaign that is in the spirit of donating to Cancer Foundation awareness, what have you, if it's going to be that low, maybe just say a percentage of the proceeds will be donated. Do not
Yeah.
state the actual percentage. And again, just like being in finance and working directly with like the CFO, it's always about the bottom line for corporations. It's never about them making donations to increase breast cancer awareness. I'm sorry to tell you, if that's what you really think Set Active is out here to do, you're incorrect. They're not making donations out of the goodness of their heart. It's one, good for marketing. Two, it's good for PR and maybe some kind of tax write off, but it's never about donating to breast cancer awareness. Like that needs to be made very clear. And if you don't like that answer, then I'm sorry, that's just late stage capitalism for you. But what I will say is if you are going to if you're going to posture as a charitable organization, do not show all your cards because you're going to look stupid.
I feel like this isn't the first time this has happened with Set Active and Lindsay Carter. I feel like she has done terrible, like has had really bad PR marketing, not scandals, but has had to issue a statement like this
What?
like more than once. Like this is like I
What?
wasn't shocked when you sent that screenshot of her apology and like how she's saying, we're listening to everyone, like we heard you, like she is mentioned a lot on Reddit for things that I don't know if it's like business practices or what. Maybe it's just some kind of combination with social, but this I wasn't surprised seeing this basically. I wish I like let me see, Lindsay Carter.
But for some reason, her name does ring alarm bells in my head. I don't know anything about her, but now that you're saying her name, I'm like, I feel like I do see her name being brought up a lot online for maybe not just being the best leader.
Yeah, yes, that's what it is. Like she's not a good leader. She's not a great CEO. She's not, it's like do as I say, not as I do kind of behavior is
Yeah.
how I interpret it. Um, but yeah, people are like sick of her shit and that if their employees like they work really late, they shouldn't have a work-life balance. And then she kind of like makes it look like the opposite, like online. It's kind of like similar to the whole makeup thing and like what you post online is really not how she's acting behind closed doors. She probably was like furious that people were coming after her with this 2% donation to breast cancer awareness, like furious. And she was like, well, really can't back down now, like gotta do something about it. And then I think she was saying that it's now like they're donating $95,000, which is amazing, but they're also not putting forth the amount of money. Like they're hiding something is
Yeah,
basically what people were saying. Like no one can really, you can't tell where that 95,000 is coming from. You could like what that could be 2%. That 95,000 could actually be 2% of like of however much money that they brought in for this drop.
right,
So
right.
there's still like ambiguity with it.
Yeah, there's a disconnect for sure. And I think now that as you were talking, I was actually thinking about Jurf Avenue as well, and Matilda Jurf
Yeah.
pushing online that she has this really amazing workplace and the staff love her and they have a really good co-working relationship and everyone's close when in fact behind the scenes people were terrified of Matilda Jurf. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Sophie and I did a Matilda Jurf episode a couple months back, but you're posturing yourself like you're this amazing leader, but behind the scenes you're mean. But I do want to call out too,
Mhm.
it's tough to be a female leader because I think more often than not, female leaders are crucified more so than male leaders. Because I'm thinking about Rent the Runway, for instance, or a lot of female-led away luggage, a lot of
Mhm.
female-led brands. The executives are always platformed as like they're girl bosses, but they're also horrible to work with. So take that for what you will. Um,
Yeah.
it's who's to say, what's actually going on, but the fact that Lindsay Carter is finds herself in scandal often, this then may not surprise many people, the said active breast cancer
Yeah.
awareness thing.
I mean, I literally just found another like black screen, white text apology post from 4 months ago where it's like now discussing people's work ethic and how she said, like, if you leave the office at 5 o'clock, you're coasting. Like you're not
What?
working hard. Yeah.
I hate that about when corporations try to dictate when your butt needs to be in your seat. Like, do you know how many times I'll like get in and out of like for appointments or I let my team go out for appointments? It does not
Yeah.
matter as long as the work is done. I always say you could be working from the moon. I do not give a fuck when your hours are. You get up at 6,
Exactly.
and then log off at 3 as long as the work's getting done and you're not ghosting. And if I need you, you're going to jump online if necessary. If it's an emergency, I don't care.
Yeah, or even like making up hours. Like if you have a nine to 10 appointment, you can like make that up from 5 to 6 or whatever it may be. Maybe not
Ex
take a lunch break, but like,
yeah,
yeah, as long as
exactly.
you're getting your shit done, what does it matter if you're leaving at 5? Maybe they have like to pick up their kids at daycare. Like they're not coasting, they just have like other life responsibilities they need to do.
Exactly. Like if I need to go to a freaking, I don't know, eye doctor and the only availability is at 2 to 3, then let me go. That's so dumb. That
Yeah.
tells me actually the leadership is a little bit off then. Like that
Yeah.
alone, that could be from a male leader or a female leader. I don't like that.
Yeah, there's definitely something sus happening over there where people are like, we shouldn't be supporting this brand.
Yeah. Well, speaking of people that can be sus, I want you to tell me what you wrote about the next person.
Oh my God, the Kardashians. I obviously like a lot of people, I was a diehard Kardashian fan. Like I watched all of the seasons on E. I then tried watching the newer seasons on Hulu. I watched a few and then I was like, this is so overly produced. This is not good. This is not telling me anything new. This isn't like juicy like it used to be. They weren't like fun and silly and like doing pranks. Like it was just not the old show. And I feel like you've talked about this too. Like you watched, but it just wasn't the same. They
Hmm.
dropped their new trailer the other day, and I'm like, do I need to watch? Because the amount of like guest appearances that they had, and it was giving like old Kardashian in the sense where like Chris and Kim were like, oh my God, Glenn Close is coming to my house. Like Sarah Paulson is coming
Yeah,
over.
it's like with the
Like,
J Law, the J Law on
yes,
Keeping Up. Yes.
yes, it's like all of these mega celebrities, mega TV movie stars are coming to the house because Kim is going to be in this upcoming series called All's Fair. I think that's what it's called, which is a Ryan Murphy show. It's probably going to be amazing. Maybe not her
Love.
acting, but I will be watching the show. And there was this like clip in the trailer that showed that Chris was hosting all of them, and Chris was like giddy, and she was like, "I'm gonna die. Oh my God, I can't
Yeah.
believe these women are coming." I was like, this is giving old, like old Chris, like how when they were really just reality TV stars. They really had nothing. They didn't have skins. They didn't have any
No.
kind of like outside brand. It was
They were
just like
reality stars as
they
a
were
living.
reality
Yeah.
stars, but
Yep.
also normal people. And then you see a picture, like you see Rob.
Crazy.
They're like Bob, and I was like, who the fuck is Bob? And then I remember like they show Rob, and then I'm like, oh right, that's what like Chloe used to call him. The fact that like we're seeing him, we're getting a sign of life is unbelievable. Haven't seen that man on a
No,
screen in at least 5 years.
no, I mean, minimum. I don't even remember the last time I saw him. If the only time we've ever
Shocked.
had a glimpse of life is him being on the phone with one of the sisters and being put on speaker.
Yeah, and that to me doesn't count because he could be anywhere. He
Yeah.
like could literally be locked away with phone access. Like
Yeah.
you don't know, especially with them and like all of the controversies and stories. And then you see Caitlyn Jenner like walking inside. You only see her back, but they're like Caitlyn's coming,
I
and
know.
that alone also, I mean, Caitlyn, she's a whole other thing with her background and like what she supports and whatnot, but like she has not filmed with them in so long, and just like seeing the dynamic with her and Chris and like the girls, I was seated, and I was really questioning if I needed to like actually watch this upcoming season because for the cameos alone, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I was really into the Kardashians on Hulu the first, I think, two seasons. And by the third season, I just felt like the entire show was one big ad for Skims, for Lemmy,
Yes.
for Good American, for Kyle, like all these things. And I kept thinking, if I wanted to see this footage, I would go on my phone and hit up one of their social media, Instagrams or whatever.
Mhm.
But it just felt so inauthentic. And it was clear that they had such a heavy hand in the production of the show that it was too protected. They had this like glossy veneer that they didn't want us to see past. But I feel that on E during Keeping Up, I think Seacrest was still like producing the show. They didn't have
Yeah.
such a heavy hand in production, so that's why we got more, I don't know, titillating like fun content. But
Hmm.
I completely agree. I think with all the cameos, particular for me, I think Rob is going to be the biggest one because he's like a ghost. The way that they talk about
Yeah.
him, it's almost like when they bring him up, I almost sometimes forget that he exists, not because
I
like he's irrelevant,
know.
more so because he's never there and they're everywhere. So how can your family member who you're apparently constantly in contact with just never be seen, not even through a pap photo,
It's
nothing?
insane.
It is
It's
really
really I'm
bizarre.
really sad. It's like I don't want to say that he's like a hermit, but he's just like if you are part of that family and like you are seen, you are papped, like it doesn't you don't even need to call anyone. Like just being seen, you see that they are somewhere on some like on Reddit, whether it's on Reddit or it's on People or it's the New York Post, like you see them around. You kind of know like what's going on. But Rob is just like he's a mystery.
It's like this.
It's insane.
It is. And the fact that they have been, or Rob has been able to hide himself for as long as he have with not a single paparazzi
Hmm.
shoot, but even forgetting paparazzi, even normal people walking around the
Right,
Calabasas Commons, how come
exactly.
we've never seen a photo? Because we see photos of celebrities all the time on Dumois and elsewhere.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It's like we know that they're out there. We know that they're like running errands or they're going out to eat. Like we know that everyone's alive and well, but like Rob literally did not peep. It's
Yeah,
so, and we always see Dream is like at Chloe's house. Like we never, that's like a whole other thing. But the fact that we get like a rare sighting of him, I'm just curious as to like what the story will be about there
I
with him.
know.
Like why are they like is there a reason they're bringing him on? Like I don't want them to exploit him. I don't want them to feel like because it almost felt as if the show was like really dipping and maybe they're bringing all these like older faces back because
To
they
get
real
ratings back.
yeah, to get
Yeah.
ratings back and because they kind of thought like are people not tuning in as much? Like are people also thinking this is like really overly produced? It's really filtered, like all that kind of stuff. And maybe this is their way to get more eyes on the show to bring it back to like the original roots of Keeping Up with Kardashians.
Yes.
But I don't know. I mean, it's hard because everything that they do, it seems so contrived. So it's like,
Yes.
what is really the reason that we're seeing Rob and Caitlyn? Like, how did Caitlyn get involved? Because I don't remember the last time I even saw photos of her with Kylie and Kendall.
They'll frame it as if, you know, Kendall saying, I want my dad around. Why don't you ever invite my dad? Because remember that one infamous clip from Keeping Up when they were saying, oh, we're not going to invite him, or we're going to invite Scott because he'll always be family. And then Kendall goes, what about my dad? It's
Yeah,
like, dun, 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 dun. And then like it zooms in and they're all like, oh, what do we say to
I
that? So,
know.
no, it'll be good. I am happy to see like a reminiscent kind of like moments for Keeping Up.
I know. And now I'm just gonna like have to add that to my list now because but also like Courtney,
Yeah.
Courtney seemed terrible. She seemed awful.
When's Corny not miserable? Like seriously. She yeah.
She used to be my favorite. I would always be like, if I'm a Kardashian, like I would be Courtney. Now I'm like, I don't
No.
want anyone to ever tell me that I behave that way. She's also kind of like do as I say, not as I do. Like she comes off so negative, so mean, but then
Yeah.
tries to like be all preachy with all of
Yeah.
like her shit. It's just
It's yeah. It's
it's
well,
weird.
I'm curious if you guys are going to be interested in watching the new season. Let us know in the Spotify comments or on our Instagram carousel. And I wanted to round us out, obviously, with DEOs and LEOs of the week. Let's start with let's start with DEOs. So the last week, the first week of October, we're recording on October 5th, Sunday, was so stressful at my normal corporate job. And I also was just like about to start my cycle. And I literally cried in front of my boss. My boss is
Please.
like a middle-aged Asian CFO. Okay. I literally was unwell. And you know, when you get secondhand embarrassment after you have like a fucking manic episode at work, I wasn't being manic, but I was just like so overwhelmed. And I was in his office and I just started to break down. And then I went back to my office and
It's
he's
all
so
you could
sweet. He
think
like,
about.
yes, he like came back. He said, "Do you want to get lunch?" I'm like, "No, I have to go home because I have someone coming." Like I was just all over the place, and then I was thinking, "Oh my God, I'll never be able to show my face again at work." It's just like you have secondhand embarrassment for your behavior, but I was so overwhelmed, and again, like hormonally, just all over the place. Corporate job was freaking me out. Everything was freaking me out, and it's just had one of those days. So crying in front of your boss is my DEO of the week.
I like completely agreed with you. I was like, I feel this so hard. Like I have also cried in front of many a bosses, and once I was met with like literally a stone cold face. Like I was actually met with not only that, but then a smile at like watching me cry and like watching me be upset and having the complete opposite reaction that your CFO had. That only makes it, at least for me, like more embarrassing and
Oh,
more
I've had that same
humiliating
experience, by the
and
way.
keeps me up at night. Like I, I can't, I'm just like, also, that says more about you than does about me, the one that's crying. Like the fact that that is how you manage that and like went about that way is just so that's dark in itself. How like people will react to you being upset.
Yes, such a good point. I've had that same exact experience with the boss, and it's petrifying, honestly, to be met with like when you're so overwhelmed with work and sad, and all you can do is cry, and then you're just met with complete like apathy.
Yeah,
It's like devastating for to the receiver. But you're right. It's more
devastating.
about the other person giving you that kind of reaction than it says about the person who's feeling emotions. Like emotions are meant to be felt.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
What was, but your other one also made me laugh.
oh yeah. I was in Laguna last night for my mom's birthday, and it was actually really cute. They had like an opera type of singing. Like I'm not joking. It was
Oh yeah, we have that here too.
yeah, it was like a bunch of like Italian men, very handsome, you know,
Mm-hmm.
singing. And I was like, oh my God, the way I would melt into my chair if this were me.
No, I used to tell my parents, I'd be like, don't you dare think about telling anyone in this vicinity that it is my birthday, because if someone comes over and starts singing to me, I'm getting up and I'm leaving. It
No,
won't be my birthday, it's going to be your birthday. It will be your birthday, and you're the one that's going to have to get sung to. Otherwise, like,
yeah.
don't ever try to take me out for my birthday ever again,
No.
because it's a scarring
It
experience.
is. It's humiliating.
I also hate attention, so I will like literally be like this. Like it's actually like I'm hiding. Like I'm like a turtle wanting to like go into my shell. Like it's horrible.
No, I know. It's awful. Do you have any DEOs that
I have one that I thought about. I was away this weekend for a wedding and I needed to pack, and like our cleaning ladies were coming, our housekeepers were coming on Friday. So like between packing and getting organized, I was like very stressed, and I was pulling things off of my one of the racks in my closet. The rack fell down, and then
Oh my God.
everything hanging up fell down,
Yep.
and all the hangers were getting like twisted, and I couldn't hang anything up because I would like go to hang them up, and then they would slide off the hanger because or they slide off the rod because the rod had fallen down, and like I was by myself sweating trying to get it back
Yep.
up, and then I would get it back up and everything would
Yep.
fall over again. So that's my DEO. Is terrible, terrible way to spend the week. I was like, what, how, why is my closet breaking down? Like, how is this
Yep.
happening? I was
Yep.
alone. No one could help me. I was like balancing this rod like this. Like
And you're
this
so
is
like thin
stressful.
too, and like like I can just imagine like your tiny little body just like
No, literally, I was like shaking, trying to like hold the rod, but also like attach the hangers because I couldn't get it like locked in back to the rod. I'm sure right now it's either off. Like I haven't been in my closet since I've gotten home, but I'm sure the rod's either on the floor or it's like slanted
take a
again.
picture of it and we'll put it on our carousel if it's
I
gone.
I
Hopefully it's
will.
not.
Even if it's not, it will probably like timber over again. Like one touch, it's like fragile. Like, you think
Yeah.
I'm fragile? This rod is fragile.
Okay, well, speaking
Mhm.
of well, dark energy, let's obviously move on to our light energy. I just released an episode about the life of a showgirl yesterday, so you guys already know my thoughts on it. I get the criticism. I 100% am not like a Taylor Swift apologist. Like for, I don't think everything she does touches to gold, but I do like the beats of the songs. So
Okay.
TLOAS.
I listened to the album actually like in full, which I never do. I'm not a Swiftie,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
we were driving down the shore for the wedding on Friday, and the couple that we were with, they were like, let's listen to the Taylor album. We like didn't even realize that the album ended. That like we went through every single song, and
Yeah.
like we totally didn't even realize. We were like, what? Like this is not it felt like I took a picture actually of a meme that I saw. This was one thought. It was a picture of Beyonce's Lemonade album
Yeah.
on the left, and it said Beyonce at 34, and then it was
Yes.
The Life of a Showgirl on the right, Taylor Swift at 35. And it's like people keep saying, take a year or two off, like have some new life experiences.
Yes. I saw that comparison as well.
You don't need to release an album every single year. And it felt very juvenile.
Many would agree. I don't think that's a hot take at all. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's objectively correct.
it felt very juvenile. Also, like, why are you singing so much about dick? That was also like I'm very taken aback by that. That was
Yeah.
weird. It's like just she's like acting as if she's the first person to ever have a boyfriend and then get engaged. She's the first
Yeah.
person to ever do it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with all of that. I think the lyrics definitely were a bummer for me, especially just coming off the heels of like how did it end from TTPD, and now we're talking about Wood. It just felt, you're right. Juvenile is a very good way to describe it. I think for moments of like driving in your car and like singing, that's when the life of a showgirl is good, but I'm not like crying to this album at all. Well, actually,
Yeah.
Ruin the Friendship I
Yeah,
am,
you
but
did. Yeah, you were crying some with
sobbing.
something. But even seeing like I know you're a major Swiftie, and like seeing my other friends that are Swifties not really share much after the song came out. Like they're the ones that are like posting about everything that she's doing, like the Easter eggs, the outfits, the performances, like
Hmm.
they went to all the Eras tours and everyone is silent.
Silent. Yeah.
Everyone was like posting up until midnight about the release and like they couldn't wait to listen at midnight and
Mm.
then it came out and no one is saying anything, which I also think speaks volumes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like a flop. I think, is she in her flop era? Like,
I think this is, yeah.
it makes you kind of question it, like, and think about, what she was doing. I also heard that there was a rumor she was going to be at SNL last night, and then I'm guessing she wasn't because I didn't see anything
Yeah.
about it.
It was Bad
But
Bunny, but yeah, I didn't see anything about her being on it.
yeah, but I just feel like she's kind of like flopping, and people also, a lot of people have issues about like all of the album sales, like how she releases everything on vinyl, and now she's going to be releasing an acoustic
Acoustic.
version. And it's
Yep.
like, why are you, is this like really for your fans, or is this just like a money grab? Which
Yeah.
don't come for me for saying that, Swifties, that
No, no, my sis, yeah, it is.
it feels kind of icky.
Yeah. And same with I saw the movie as well, and I talked about it
You
on
did?
yesterday's episode. Yeah.
Oh
But
my God.
that was a money grab as well. And I think that I am not a denier of like Taylor Swift. Everything she touches turns to gold. I
Yeah.
think she's the most capitalistic. Uh, and when I say greedy, I don't mean it monetarily either. I think she wants to hit every chart and she wants to break records every single time she releases something new.
Yeah.
It's like this complex that she has. And so she already has enough money to, like I've said in the past, to last generations, plural. But I think, yeah, the continuation of like adding more drops or acoustic versions, it's like to maintain her like topness, basically.
It's just not necessary. I
No.
don't know. I'm not the audience for that, so that's only like where I'm coming from, but also
Yeah.
from like the money grab
Yeah.
point of view. It just feels icky. I don't
Yeah.
know. There's no other word for it.
Yeah. What
But
is your LEO?
my LEO, I had a few. One was that like fall weather is finally here on the East Coast. I know that like fall doesn't like the
Yeah.
seasons are a little weird in California. Like you
Yeah. I'm like,
don't
we
get
don't have
like
that.
full fall, but I was just at a wedding that was on a farm down the shore over the weekend and like just having the crispness in the air and like seeing the leaves start to change. Like it just felt so, and like being outside and you're not sweating. It's not like
Yeah.
85 degrees and you're not sweating. There's like a breeze. It's not humid. So just the fact that like fall is finally here, I'm kind of basic in that way. Like I'm just happy. And then coming home to a cleaned house. I
Oh,
mentioned before that like my
yes.
housekeepers were here and my dogs weren't here either. So we came home to like not only a clean house, but like dog hair free. So that was amazing. And then lastly, I went to a place called Rescue Spa for a facial a
Hmm.
couple weeks ago, and the esthetician was like, "We are going to fix your skin. Like you're gonna come here in like a month and a half, and I promise you your skin is gonna look different." And she gave me two new products to try, which I texted you that night. I
Yeah.
was like, "Have you ever heard of Biologique Recherche, some French brand?" I had never bought any of them because I always was like, this is out of my price range. Like, I'm not going to buy this to just buy it to try. Like, I would only buy it on recommendation. I swear these two products, she like cut my routine in half and only gave me like these two products and said to use like another prescription topical that I use because I'm very acne prone. I swear not only did like her treatment change my skin, but these products, my skin is now like all one shade. Like I was
What?
very like, I guess hyperpigmented. I'm very prone to redness and
Mm-mm.
like my pores have shrunk. My redness has like
Wow.
dissipated. And I'm not wearing any makeup.
Wow. No,
So
I was like, your skin looks really good.
I'm only wearing like the products, these two Biologique Recherche products. So Biologique Recherche, if you're out there, sponsor us because it's legit.
No,
Those
literally.
products,
We will get
fuck.
you in touch with our network, please. If you're listening, we would love that.
I love it. So it's worth it. It's like so worth. One of them was actually, I think, about $50. So that's not too bad. I feel like that's what a lot of skincare costs
Yeah.
these days. The other one was a moisturizer, which is a little bit pricier, but the way that I'm going through it, I'm gonna have this for at least like 3 to 4 months.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that
It's an
feels like
investment.
it's an investment. Yeah. So those are my LEOs. I like actually came prepared this time. Normal, like when Sophie asked me, I was like,
You're like, I don't
I was like,
know.
I literally don't know. Like, don't like. I felt like I was being called on in school. I was like, I don't know. I don't have any. Move on. Like, can you just talk?
You came because there's a business that you're passionate about. So you came prepared with the
I
answers and you
came
did a
prepared.
phenomenal job here on Dark Energy Tuesday. Thank you so much. And you guys know where to find us at Snarkbait Pod on Instagram, also on TikTok. I am at Christy Noel underscore underscore. Sophie is at Soph underscore Ross. And we will see you guys on Wednesday, tomorrow for a Patreon episode, or on Thursday for our main. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.